Hello, Happy New Year and welcome to Vibes in 2020 with your host Snoop. Now, as you've heard, there's a brand new introduction music. I thought I'll kick off the new year with some new music. That will be downloadable on SoundCloud, so if you like the sound of it, feel free to have a listen. I will link it in the description. But we're going to kick off 2020 with massive technology news. We do have the Consumer Electronics Show, which is just around the corner. It's going to start in 2 days' time. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to appear, and we are going to kick straight off with Samsung. Samsung have unveiled a video a couple of days ago, and they're touting their next reveal of their new Galaxy phones. Now, the unveil itself is going to happen on February of the 11th this year, and there are rumors going around on what this might potentially bring. Obviously, we're going to see the Samsung S11, which is touted to be called the Samsung S20 because they believe it's going to usher in a brand new start. Very much similar to what iPhones did with the iPhone 9 going off to the iPhone X or iPhone 10 instead and missing that iteration. I think Samsung might do a similar thing here. Now, if you get a chance to have a look at the teaser video, the words with the A is cut out with shapes. They're touting that the first one is going to unveil Samsung's amazing cameras. Now, this is an area which they have fallen behind on slightly. They're touting to have 4 or more lenses with higher megapixels, so the quality is going to be much better. But I think the bigger news is going to be with the second A, which they're touting it to be the foldable Samsung Galaxy, the second one in its iteration. It is said to be very similar to the Motorola Razr. There are some leaked footages, not really a video online that could indicate how it looks like. It will be a slightly longer phone when you fold it out, but it's supposed to be a powerhouse. It's going to be interesting to see how the screen is going to be like. Will it be any better? Will it get rid of that crease? Now, as you know, I have the Samsung Galaxy Fold. I really like it. But it seems like that the Samsung Galaxy Fold that I have is going to be more premium versus to this particular one, which will be a lot more affordable. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to be. We don't have long to wait. We've got about a month before we see it. So the Samsung Galaxy event will happen on February of the 11th. So put that in your calendars. As you know, I will be covering that as well. Continuing with the trend of Samsung, and as you know, CES is around the corner, there's going to be a big trend, and you're going to hear more and more of this. We've got 4K and now we've got 8K, and Samsung has unveiled a picture of a zero bezel 8K TV. Just imagine a TV without a bezel. That is going to be amazing. Now, I currently have a TV that has a very slim bezel and I can't really tell. But to have none of it, that's going to be somewhat really surprising. But at the same time, I kind of worry about touching the screen when you try to mount it. So it's going to be interesting. But I think what's really interesting is the move from 4K to 8K. My question here is, how quickly are people going to adopt the 8K resolution? And the only reason why I'm saying that is because 4K itself isn't really widely adopted as much as it should be right now. Now, we have 4K TVs, we have 4K consoles that give just near enough 4K quality gaming. We've got 4K satellite feeds, which are giving near enough 4K feeds via TV, but not everything's being displayed in that resolution as of yet. Organizations and companies around the world are still not utilizing 4K cameras, 4K video conferencing, so to jump into 8K is a step for me a bit too soon. But could it be the case of we're going to see this and it may not be unveiled straight away? It is going to be interesting. but it seems like 8K is going to be probably one of the buzzwords here in 2020. It will be interesting to say, like I said, to see who's going to have the uptake of it. I know that LG have also been working on 8K panels, and they're looking at screens that actually roll in and out of a little box or in and out from a ceiling. So very, very interesting to see the whole folding screen, bendable screen, rolling screens displaying 8K content. And right now it's between Samsung and LG where the battle is really, really taking off. So it's going to be interesting. CES is going to show us a lot of these screens, a lot of 8K screens. I mean, I'm very much interested to see how the quality of that is going to be. So it's going to be interesting overall. Now, the next news is Fortnite, and as you may not know, it's a free-to-play shoot-'em-up game that's available. It made $1.8 billion last year alone, and overall, the gaming industry did really well. It has been noted that the entire industry within the whole gaming sector actually grossed $120 billion worth of sales, which is said to be a 4% increase over the previous year. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how gaming will go that step further. It seems like VR is definitely growing, so virtual reality gaming is now growing more and more and people taking a more interest in it. PC gaming is becoming a lot more popular. Consoles are becoming a lot more powerful. We have this year, we're going to see the new Xbox and the PlayStation 5. It is really, really going to be interesting. And to see Fortnite rake in $1.8 billion worth of sales from, let's say, from add-ons, from adverts, etc. That is really, really amazing to see. So gaming is definitely on the rise. I obviously have spoken about Stadia several times before and how that is going to be a game changer. I think 2020 is going to see a few amazing things. Now, I spoke about LG earlier on. LG are looking to release a phone. LG phones don't do generally that well in sales outside of, let's say, the Asian market, but it seems like that they are also looking to make a phone that is going to pack 4 cameras and it's going to keep the headphone jack. Now, the headphone jacks for me, I think is a dying breed. More and more people are happy to pick up Bluetooth headsets, Bluetooth earphones, having that wireless capability. And as I travel around, I see less people have wired cables and have wireless pods. So really interesting to see what the uptake of that's going to be. LG overall haven't really done a great job. Like I said, Samsung are definitely going down that route, and there are rumors of them creating the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus, which will bring in better noise cancelling. I think that's going to be another buzz thing for 2020. We're going to see a lot more devices that are going to have active noise cancellation or some form of noise cancellation. It is really, really coming to fruition, really, all of that technology. So interesting to see how LG is going to fare. They've always struggled in the mobile phone business, but let's see how it goes. You know, I think LG have more of a clout when it comes to TVs, especially when it comes to the 8K front. So again, really interesting. Now, Amazon news. New York have offered to pay part of Amazon workers' salaries in an early bid for the second headquarters. There are rumors that the state is going to have to spend nearly about $1 billion extra to get Amazon's business to come within that region. It's going to be interesting to see if Amazon will build a second headquarters when it comes to having it in New York. I believe the main headquarters is based in Seattle. I could be wrong, but that is my belief there. I need to go back and verify that. But Amazon have been actively looking to have a second headquarters based around. I know Texas was in the forefront as well, but it's really interesting to see how the New York state is really throwing their money into it. So interesting to see there. In other news, when it comes to apps, It's been reported that the US military has been banned from using TikTok. Now, TikTok is one of those up and growing video kind of social media platform where people can record videos for a couple of seconds and obviously share that. They believe that it might have a security risk, and the security risk may come from China, etc. It's going to be interesting to see, really interesting for me, just to see that the government and the whole army, etc., Marines, Navy are all looking to say, hey, you can't use TikTok. Security in 2020 is going to be a big thing. I mean, there is going to be a lot of tools out there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news going out there about items being hacked or things being leaked. I mean, we had a blunder recently in the UK when it came to the honours list where everybody's addresses were accidentally posted, etc., etc. So definitely going to be an interesting year. I think year on year we have always seen security to be in the forefront of all of the news, in the forefront of how people need to focus when it comes to technology. And I don't see that changing any much more in 2020. But will we see new security protocols? Not too sure. Will we see apps continue? Again, not too sure. But yes, as said, the US military have been banned from using TikTok. Now, other news, and I've always spoken about Disney Plus and how much I've enjoyed it. It has come to light that there are a couple of movies that are going to come off the Disney Plus platform. And that is down due to old agreements that have been made where Disney will be unable to view certain films, such as Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Dr. Dolittle, and Pirates of the Caribbean. The reason why that is that there are existing licensing deals that need to run out before they can put that onto their digital media platform. So right now it is exclusive on other formats, other channels. That's really going to be interesting to see how Disney will fare with that. As time goes on, I think these licenses will expire. I mean, there's no other reason why Disney would launch Disney Plus, but it seems like that other organization, other companies have chimed in, have reached out to Disney and say, hey, we've got this agreement. You cannot show this on your platform. It will be interesting to see what more will be there. Now, if you own a Android device, Android tablet, Android phone, and you use digital magazines, Google have now announced that they're going to be killing their digital services for these magazines in the news section. It is also refunding current subscribers to that. A bit of a strange one that's happening. Google was selling digital magazines in the Play Store back in 2012 alongside with movies and TV shows. And they were made available free for a year when it was into a subscription-based one. Now, Apple News Plus gives you digital magazines, and the fact that Google had that beforehand and it hasn't done very well. Will we see Apple News Plus continue the way that it is? I'm not too sure. I don't think Apple News Plus has done as well as I think they thought it should do. They have to wait for reports on that. But definitely Google are pulling off the plug on that one. So if you do subscribe to any digital magazines on the Google platform, you may want to look elsewhere. Now, as we are in 2020, there have been some interesting glitches. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I play WWE 2K20, which has been a diabolical game in terms of how it runs and the bugs. But there was a really interesting bug that come 2020, even though the game is called 2K20, the game wouldn't load. The company had to scramble to roll out a bug and, roll out a fix, I should say, to get the game working again. But it seems like that isn't the only thing that was affected. So in New York City, parking meters were rejecting credit cards. The payment software had expired on the 1st of January, and because of that, people were unable to use their cards to park at any spots around New York City. Really, really interesting to see. I think there will be a lot more other items that would be affected by it. But according to the New York Department of Transportation, crews were out reconfiguring each of the meters. The New York City has been touted to have over 13,000 meters, covering around 85,000 parking spaces. So really interesting to see these bugs come out. I'm sure there will be other things that would have been affected, but those were the two that really, really shone out come in the beginning of the year. Now, I was talking about TikTok earlier on and how it's banned, but the owner of TikTok has reportedly built a deep fake maker. Now, for those of you who may not know, deepfake is a way of having another individual's face onto a body and for it to look like as if the individual is talking. There are some videos online on YouTube that you can check out, quite funny, where they swap out Arnold Schwarzenegger's faces or Nicolas Cage faces onto other people's bodies, etc. But the fact that this application will be available on tap and someone's actually making an application to do deepfake on mobile phones, that is quite scary. For me personally speaking, I think this should be banned or culled back because I can see the repercussions of this one. I mean, it's funny to watch the videos, but when you're beginning to use things like that, I don't think it's a great idea. People can use it to lie that they're elsewhere. I'm not too sure how I feel about this one. I, for one, do love technology, as you know, but I don't think this is a good idea. But we may see an app soon. I mean, it is quite clever technology that you're able to use the AI functionality on a mobile phone to do these deepfakes. So it does show the computational power that you have in your hand. But is it a good idea? I'm not too sure. Let me know what you think. Please do reach out to me and think it's a good idea or not. Please tell me. Now, for all of your Apple fans out there who love their AirPods, etc., you can now engrave emojis on your AirPod cases for free. So if you wanted to, you can have a smiley emoji on the case. You can have an emoji of an alien face, a robot, or the poop emoji, or anything that you want. Apple have always offered text engraving on the cases, but now you can have these emojis on these as well. So really interesting to see that Apple are allowing you to do this. I think it's pretty cool that you can customize for free through Apple. Will be interesting to see how people will uptake that. For current owners, will they buy a new case? I'm not too sure because the cases are not cheap. Now, Lenovo, as you know, CES is around the corner. They are going to be refreshing some of their machines. There are rumors of the X1 lineup being refreshed, with the possibility of it bringing the optional privacy screens that you can see on the ThinkPads T480Ss, T490Ss, where it kind of dims the screen so that people can't see what you're working on. So you don't need to buy these privacy filters anymore. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, they're going to have the updated 10th generation Ice Lake processors that are made by Intel. They're going to come with 16 gigs of RAM. Really, really interesting to see how that all works. I think the main focus here should be about screen, should be about computational power, and the pricing should be right. So, like I said, I will be covering items that will come out from CES next week. I will say what's new, what's worth looking out for. But there will be a lot of laptop manufacturers that are coming out there. Dell are the other company. They have touted the new XPS machines, which look like a thing of beauty. And I'm sure there will be other manufacturers doing the same thing. So Lenovo are definitely going to really show what they're going to showcase. I mean, they are very popular machines. They are good machines as well. So, if you're looking to buy yourself a laptop, you can't go wrong with a Lenovo right now. Tesla car shipments have grown by 50% last year. It's delivered more cars than the past 2 years combined. So it seems like electronic cars are beginning to really come to that way. It said that Tesla have hoped to deliver last year for about 400,000 cars. It did reach that goal, which is amazing. So to see that we're having these electronic cars out on the road is amazing. And at the same time, Tesla looking to bring the first Model 3S's made in Shanghai. So we're going to see Tesla cars come into China. So I'm sure there's going to be a massive uptake of these cars. It's a great movement for the environment. There's been a lot of hit and miss news when it has come in the environment. And it's one of those things where people would like to have something that's a lot more economically friendly. Now, I will need to find out to see how much more economically friendly it is, because you still need to make electricity. So is it any better? I'm sure there is, but I'd love to give you all the numbers and figures. But great to see Tesla doing well. Great to see that they're really selling their models, and they are everywhere now. And I think they're wonderful cars. I honestly think that they are wonderful cars. Now, I was talking about Samsung phones, CES, and I'm going to focus on that because it's going to be a big thing this week coming. There's going to be a lighter version of the Samsung Galaxy S10 and Note 10. They're going to say that these phones are going to be cheaper. They're going to be a lot more affordable. Both devices are touted to have bezel-less AMOLED displays with a cutout for the camera. I'm not too sure what the differences between the two are going to be. I think it will be smaller things, like the resolution of the panels will be slightly less. It may not have the screens as good as the main S10s and the Note 10s. But everything else seems more or less similar. The pictures look great from what they are touting to say what it looks like. I guess we're going to find out from CES next week on what Samsung are going to do with these phones. But it's very much what Google are doing with the Google Pixel 4. They did it with the Google Pixel 3, where they had the 3A. We've got the 4A, which is touted around the corner, which weirdly enough looks better than the 4. The screen has a similar hole punch on the screen for the camera. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Talking about that, the OnePlus company that make mobile phones, they're going to also display their prototype phone, where they've shown a video where they were able to show the rear cameras disappear. Now, the rear camera, as you know, on the back of your phone is covered via glass, and they've somehow managed to make a technology where it will dim the glass so that you can't see the camera on the back of the phone. Now, I know that they're working on technology where they want to have a camera behind the screen so that you don't need to have anything kind of like a hole punch you wouldn't need, or you wouldn't need an area for the camera, so that part will be cut out. But this is definitely a move forward to have that technology where cameras will be behind the screen, so you don't need to worry about having cameras placed on the top or on the side. It could be placed anywhere. Just imagine having video conferencing where the camera could be smack bang in the middle of the TV. It's taking a video of you, but you can just look at the TV directly. And I think that makes video conferencing much better, because it actually does look like that the individuals are looking at each other. Sometimes when I use an iPad or an iPhone with my other half, we're not really looking eye to eye. I can see her looking at an angle. She can see me looking at an angle. So, interesting to see how that technology is going to go forwards. Weirdly enough, for those who may not know, there is a slight functionality on the Apple devices where it can actually fake where your eyes are looking. I've played around with it. I'm not too sure how well that works, but the feature's on there right now. I've got to find out where this setting is, but I don't think it works very well from what I know. I still look like as if I'm looking elsewhere half of the time. So, but interesting to see OnePlus doing that. Again, we're going to see this prototype come this week coming at CES. Now, talking about CES, we are also going to see cars. And I spoke about Tesla earlier on, but CES will cover everything. And since we are looking at electronic cars, I guess they have a place at CES. It is one of the world's biggest tech shows. So if you are interested in technology, please do follow it online. Like I said, there will be loads of news. I will be posting as much as I can do. There's going to be a lot to keep up with, so it's not going to be the easiest one to follow and to update you all on, but I will do my best. Now, in terms of 5Gs, it looks like Samsung have had a foothold on the 5G phone spaces, but there has been roughly, by that organization, 6.7 million 5G phones that have been shipped. There's rumors of 5G tablets being released earlier on this year as well, but it does go to show that 5G adoption is very, very high. We're going to see more 5G devices. Apple, the next iPhone's been touted to support 5G. It is going to be the trend. There's more and more areas being covered. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing more and more areas being covered with 5G connectivity. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So 2020, we'll see screens. I've been talking about this last year, but we're going to see the growth of folding screens. We're going to see the growth of 5G and people taking more 5G plans and people jumping onto 5G. It will be the big said thing. So 2020, we're probably going to see a lot more of those items come up over time. We do have the mobile phone conference that usually happens in Barcelona in February as well, so we're probably going to see more 5G devices then. The beginning of the year is also really, really interesting. You know, when it comes to technology, there's always great events that show all of that for you. Now, I haven't spoken much about Apple. I think last year, personally speaking, I think they've delivered a lot of good things. But Apple TV Plus, there have been reports that they've signed former HBO chief to a 5-year deal. So are we going to see a lot more content on Apple TV Plus? I've really enjoyed watching the morning show. I still got to watch the other programs on there. I need to make time for it. I've been currently watching Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. I love that show. A lot of people are still annoyed with the actor because they've always seen Jack Ryan to be Harrison Ford. Going a bit off topic, but definitely streaming will be another big year next year. Again, like I said, Stadia, Xbox streaming, video streaming, it's definitely come to fruition there. Netflix were on the ball. You know, let's be honest, they did a great job, and I think everybody's kind of playing catch up. So really interesting there. Now, talking about Amazon, and I mentioned about Prime earlier on. As you know, Amazon released a new Alexa speaker where you were able to plug in the smart assistant directly into your plug. Now, as you know, they own Ring, the doorbell system, and the security system as well. And there have been pictures that have been released of the Chime Pro. So if you've got the chime, which tells you when you ring, when your doorbell rings. It is said that the Chime Pro is going to bring in a Wi-Fi extender, also a speaker which puts in the Amazon Alexa, the actual smart assistant onto your speaker itself. Now, I was a little bit hesitant there because I've got these devices and they'll always wake up when it say its name. So hence why you probably heard it in the background there. But really interesting to see that they're coming in a much smaller package, and you can plug directly into the plug. It's going to be interesting to see how the speaker sounds though, so one to look out for sure. But let's see how it goes. Now, laptops I was mentioning earlier on, I spoke about Dell. Samsung are going to be releasing new laptops. We've got other companies releasing new laptops like NEC. I think this year we're going to see a lot of laptop releases where they're going to have a lot more oomph when it comes graphically, when it comes to CPU power, when it comes to screen technology. I mean, I'm talking about 8K, and laptops haven't really adopted 4K screens yet. So, yeah, are we making that jump too soon? I still kind of think it is too soon, but let's see how it goes. Now, GE wireless smart switches have been touted to work without a hub. So if you're looking to have smart switches, GE are going to release a couple of light switches that don't need a hub. It will come with dimmers, normal light switches, etc., etc. If you're looking for something, I guess just wait until CES finishes and look at their range of items. The actual switches itself will integrate with Google Assistant, with Amazon. Those are the two big ones. I see Siri slowly dying a death here because those two have really dominated the market. I won't be surprised if we see Siri actually work with Amazon at some point. That's definitely going to be interesting to see how that works. So Siri needs a lifeline of some sort. So let's see how that works. The home automation needs to be better if they are going to survive. But hey ho, talking about AI, Google's AI can now detect breast cancer more accurately than experts in the industry. It has said that the AI has screened with fewer false positives compared to when a human does it. Now, this was done by a company called DeepMind, which is based in the UK. The company was purchased back in Google in 2014. And the fact that AI is picking up cancer at such a great rate is nothing but good news, because it just means that, you know, things like cancer can be detected a lot more quicker. It'll work better. It's definitely going to be really, really interesting overall to see how AI is going to help out in the medical space, how AI is going to capture a lot of things that we weren't able to capture. It's all got to do with data. Data is a big thing, and the fact that, you know, this kind of data can help mitigate or help capture things like this, I think can be nothing but good news. So definitely really interesting to see. Now, talking about streaming, which I mentioned earlier on, streaming now accounts for 80% of the US music market. I mean, wow, that is huge. When it comes to music, we now do listen to music in a very different way. We handle music in a different way. Streaming has definitely helped us a lot over the time, purely because, you know, it's just convenient. You know, you don't need to buy CDs, you don't need to buy albums. Everything just works. So really, really interesting to see that statistic, that it accounts 80% of the market. There will be people out there who still want to have the good old physical copies, but I guess as the generation goes on by, that's going to change, and it may go to 100%. I don't know. There's still a fight of bringing vinyls back. Let's see how it goes. Brazil have hit Facebook with a $1.6 million fine to Cambridge Analytica. That's more than double the amount fined by the UK government itself. Again, Facebook are still kind of reeling from that. They're saying that part of the data itself belonged to about, I think, 500,000 Brazilian users overall. Again, you know, Facebook are going through the pain of that all. They've got a lot of work to do. Talking about Facebook, they've made a slight change with Facebook Messenger. If you're looking to sign up with it, you are no longer able to join Facebook Messenger without a Facebook account. This will be the start. There's rumors of them getting rid of WhatsApp or merging WhatsApp with Messenger. I think this is going to be the start. I wouldn't be surprised if WhatsApp might actually turn around doing a similar thing at some point. We're not too sure. They have been cutting off WhatsApp on certain older models of Android phones. Obviously, it died on Windows phones. Windows phones was dying anyway. We've got the new one that's coming out at the end of this year that runs off Android anyway. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, there are a lot of people that have signed up with mobile phones. Will they have to create an account? I'm not too sure. So that is going to be interesting to see. I'm not on it myself, but I will definitely keep an eye out for that. Now, Netflix, they've been showing The Witcher. And because of that, the Witcher 3 video game has become more popular than it was when the game launched. And Netflix has really helped sell that game even more. I mean, the amount of people playing that game has definitely grown. It's amazing that, you know, it's now set a new player record for the game after 4 years of the initial release. So definitely the company that made that video game must be very happy. And again, that attests to that great growth that has happened. So TV media, video games merging. It's going to be really interesting. However, the thoughts of watching the Sonic the Hedgehog movie makes me shudder, because I just know that's going to be an awful movie. But I'm a huge fan of Jim Carrey. Let's see how it goes. The last thing I'm going to talk about is there was a game I've been playing yesterday. It's called the Untitled Goose Game, and it's a very peculiar game that I absolutely love. If you get a chance to play it, it's basically you're a goose, you run around, you honk at people, and you have to complete certain objectives. So really interesting. I really enjoyed the game, actually. I got stuck on it for about 2 hours yesterday, weirdly enough, so I didn't imagine that happening. I was on and off it, basically, and I just kept on going back. But it was a great way of training my brain to figure out certain patterns and certain things. So definitely worthwhile checking out if you're a gamer. I will be covering CES news. The podcast will drop slightly later than usual on the weekly basis, because I will be away on holiday, which I'm looking forward to. But no, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you to listening to Vibes, and until next time, enjoy the tech world, enjoy the New Year's. I know there's a lot of people that are going to be heading back to work. I hope it goes well when it comes to the tech front, but thank you for listening. If you've got any feedback, any news, any items, you know where to reach out to me on. I will put it in the description again. Please do check out my new theme music as well. But no, I'm glad we're kicking off 2020 with a very exciting start, and I shall chat to you all soon. So until next time, take care. Thank you very much for your love, and chat soon. Bye.